All right, welcome to Unit 2, Lesson 3. We're going to be talking about body composition. So what is body composition? Body composition is a tool that we use to determine the levels of fat in our body, fat tissues, and then also non-fat tissues. Our non-fat tissues consist of things like muscle, bone density, and also the water within our body. So the reason that we compare these two is because a generalized weight that doesn't separate it might look differently. So 35 pounds to somebody who works out all the time might be 35 pounds of muscle versus somebody who lives a sedentary life. They might have more of, like, say, 35 pounds of that fat tissue. So it's important that we look at this because we can use it to really assess our overall health. So what is our cardiovascular health? What is our overall health? How is our body working? Also, progress monitoring. If you know that you are at a certain percentage of body fat, you can work towards that goal. So it helps set those goals. Now, it looks differently in females than it does in males. So for females, we say to try to stay under about 30% or less of body fat. And this is something that fluctuates during puberty. So during puberty, females have more fat in their body because obviously the different functions that their body has to support. For males try to stay under 20% or less. During puberty, men actually burn more fat, so they lose fat. And this is because they have a higher metabolism and things like that. So females, we try to stay under 30%. Males, we try to stay under about 20%. Using those as a goal, you can help, obviously, progress monitor what you're doing. Now, if you have more than 30% as a female, say, you can change your body composition. Body composition is something that fluctuates for us at different stages of our life, but also we can change it from our day-to-day based on what we eat and how we exercise. So now, how should we measure it, or how can we measure it? One of the ways that you can measure it is using BMI. We talked about that, how it uses height and weight. So BMI is a rough calculation of basically where you're at. It gives you a number based off of your height and weight. But now remember, it doesn't take in consideration activity level or anything like that. So it's just a general height and weight. Scale, kind of already referred to that. Scale, you just measure your weight. That's just stepping on and seeing how much you weigh. That only has one variable, so you aren't really getting a lot of information, but it is a good way to kind of set goals and progress monitor that way as well. Then you can also use tape measures and measure different areas of your body. Really what you're doing there is just measuring the size of your body. You're not really measuring what tissue you have there or what that size really means. So you're only really getting a measurement of how big you are, which can be helpful to set goals, obviously, if you're trying to gain more muscle mass, increasing that size, or try to lose more fat mass, you're trying to decrease that size, but you can't really tell exactly what you're doing there, what muscles or what mass you're targeting. Now, bod pod, it looks like kind of like a robot, or like a bubble. That one measures the air displaced. So this one has a lot more of a scientific process behind it, so it can be more accurate. Then there's hydrostatic weighing. Hydrostatic weighing is basically like a big pool of water or a big tub of water where you get in and they measure the amount of water displaced. Now, with that, they can also sense different kind of muscle tissue that is within that person and whatnot, but they get a lot more information from hydrostatic weighing and body pods. This is because there's more of a scientific process behind it. Now, these things aren't as accessible, though, to the community. So body pods and hydrostatic weighing is things that you could find at very small clinics or like specialized places, but we don't have them accessible in like common spaces. Now, skin fold is what measures. It's a kind of like a clamp that you put on your body to measure where or how much fat is on that tissue or how much fat is underneath that part of the skin. That one is also a relatively accurate one. and is like low to no cost. We have a lot more access to that because getting a clamp like that is not too hard. So looking on the right side, circled in yellow, those are our more accurate methods to measure body composition. And on the left, we have more of our less reliable. So remember, BMI, scales, and tape measure, they use very few variables when calculating your body composition. So because of that, you're not going to get as much of an accurate score as you would with your body pod, your hydrostatic weighing, and your skin fold, because you're getting more of an accurate representation of those two different masses. So you're looking at your fat and your non-fat masses, and you get a better accurate representation with the ones on the right. Now, with that in mind, we are going to move into here now to the quiz. If you have any more questions, again, make sure you ask us. We are more than willing to help walk you through this. Hope it cleared up some things. And that's it for body comp.